Hey guys, what's going on? This is Andy Clements and welcome back to Muscle Building Mastery. On today's podcast, I want to talk to you a little bit about this concept of it being okay to take a week off the gym. And the reason this has popped into my head is because obviously if you've been listening from the start, and I've only done 5, this is episode 6 I think, I've had a few days off of this podcast. Of producing this podcast, the one I was going to be trying to do every single day, and I'm still going to be trying to do every single day. But the reason I've had a few days off this podcast is because about a week ago now, I came down with a nasty sickness bug, and I think it might. I don't know if you've ever heard of that norovirus, right? I got the norovirus bug, which was ruthless, like the worst sickness bug I've ever had. Right? I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was literally sick 12 times in 6 hours, and it was like the most violent sickness ever. It was ruthless, and obviously that I didn't sleep that night. I didn't really eat anything for 48 hours, maybe even 2 to 3 days. It was rough. So obviously I wasn't training, I wasn't eating, I was losing weight. And at that sort of stage, when you can't train, you can't eat, and you're trying to push towards this muscle building goal, and you've been working so hard to get towards this muscle building goal, and you've been trying to lose body fat and put on muscle and build strength and do all the rest of these and try to tick all the right boxes, and then something just blindsides you like that, you sometimes end up thinking what's the point, right? Because I'm working so hard, and I can't eat for a week, or I can't train for a week, or my sleep's bad and it's not my fault, blah 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 blah. And you think, what's the point? Because I'm going to lose all that progress that I've just made because I can't keep it up, right? And that's sometimes in the past, and maybe a little bit this time as well, when I've been ill or forcibly had to take time off the gym, especially when you can't eat, it makes it worse. You've got that in your mind. You kind of man, what's the point? Why can't I keep this consistency going? I'm going to lose all my gains. I'm going to lose all my progress, and you just end up sort of getting a bit despondent with it all and thinking, I'm going to have to work so much harder to get over this. But the reality is that it's a little bit different to how we think it is in our head, because if you take a week off the gym, not that much happens. Because I've just started going back to the gym yesterday, or not the gym because the gyms are closed, but I've started retraining again with home equipment again, and I've not really lost that much strength. My fitness has gone down a little bit, but that's going to come back really, really quite simply. And I think the key point is when you know how to train, and when you know how to the things you need to focus on, the 80% of things you need to focus on and put your efforts into, you don't worry about having a week off so much. It's weird. I used to really stress out if I ever missed a day at the gym. I used to train twice a day, and I used to if I ever missed a meal, I'd be freaking out. But when you know the fundamentals, the fundamentals of how to train, the fundamentals of how to structure a training session, the key movements that you need to do. So the big movements that you need to do. So, they need to do the heavy pulls and the heavy squats and the heavy horizontal and vertical pushes. And these big key fundamental movements that you just need to focus your energy on. If you can learn to focus your energy on those things in the gym, or, wherever you're training right now, then things aren't that hard to recover. And similarly, when you know the basics and the fundamentals of nutrition, and you can just sort of coax your body back out of this sort of sickness state and back into some sort of rhythm with your food, and then the fundamentals of sleep, and you understand just these really key fundamentals, just these key things, these key sort of building blocks of how to build muscle, that aren't the shiny, sexy stuff that's going to get Instagram likes. They're not the stuff that's going to sell magazine covers, right? Because that's all the bands and the chains and the weird stuff that people add to try and look different. But if you understand the basics that works, then having a week off's not a big deal, right? So I've had a week off. I've not really lost that much weight. I also lost a bit of weight because I couldn't eat and I was being sick and all the rest of it. But I I didn't lose that much weight, and now I'm back to eating again. I've kind of regained the weight I've lost after like 2 days anyway, and I lost maybe a bit of strength, which is to be expected. But after, I would say, after 3 or 4 training sessions, proper training sessions back, that strength will be regained, and I'll pick right up where I left off, and I won't really notice the difference. I think people panic too much about this having time off kind of thing. This you know, being scared to take time off the gym, or like when the lockdowns hit, like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my. I remember when the lockdowns first hit, I had people blowing my phone up, like, oh my god, like, what we're gonna do, like, we're gonna lose all our gains, gonna do blah 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 blah. It's like, just do what you can, you know what I mean? If it's funny, like, if you really know and you're confident with how to train and how to build muscle, you don't worry about these things. You don't worry about how um, you're gonna like focus. How you're gonna much muscle you're gonna lose, how much strength you're gonna lose. You just like go with the flow, and then when things are open again, like you'll be able to pick things right back up and progress faster than anybody else, because you know the fundamentals and you're not going to get distracted by the shiny stuff. It's like, I guess it's probably the same as like the guys who are really good at making money, right? If you're really good at making money and you're natural at making money, and like you're an entrepreneur or you're an investor or whatever the hell you are, then you don't worry if the market's closed down like they did with COVID. You don't worry about like job security or anything like that, because you've got the skill set to go out into the marketplace and to make money. And the same thing's true with muscle building. So it's all about skill set, and I guess what I'm trying to get across is like this idea of confidence equals competence. So the more competent that you can get at something, the more confident you will be that regardless of what happens, whether you get sick like I did, or whatever happens, the gyms close, you injure yourself, whatever's happened, you'll still be able to pick things up exactly where you left off and push on ahead faster than 99% of people out there, because you know the fundamentals. So if you focus on the fundamentals and absolutely nail them day in, day out, you can take a week off. You can take a week off voluntarily. In fact, I normally every 6 to 8 weeks take a week off voluntarily, because physiologically I need it. My body needs the rest. I need to be able to recuperate and give the joints a rest from the heavy lifting, and B, so I don't get bored, because too much of anything is it can be, it can get you fed up. You can get fed up, and I love this muscle building game as much as anybody, but there are times that I'm like, I can't be bothered to train, So that week off every 6 to 8 weeks really does do you wonders. Preferably you'd still eat during it, but I guess that was kind of forced upon me with the sickness. So that's all I've really got to share. Obviously that's just my lessons from the week off that I had, that was forced upon because of my little sickness bug. But yeah, I just want to get that across to you guys. Don't be afraid to take some time off, because often it'll do you good, and it definitely won't do you as much harm as you think it will. So I hope that helped, guys. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Muscle Building Mastery. Peace.